Hello students, welcome to Parignan Mentors yet another video. This is for first SEM Diploma Engineering exam for Engineering Maths paper. This is meant for normal students as well as deaf students. We will be signing for the hearing impaired students, so you can get a complete picture of the entire video, and it is aimed at how to score passing marks. So if you follow this rigorously, then you will be able to pass the exam easily. Let us first look at the question paper format. Okay, it is divided to three parts: A, B, C. Objective questions are 20 1-mark questions, which you can easily get about 15 marks. Then there will be 2-mark questions, 10 of them. Then 12 5-mark questions, total 100. You plan it at least to get 15 marks from section A, 12 marks from section B, 10 marks from section C. On an average, you can score 37 to 40 marks. I am giving you some hints and formulae for all easy chapters. Some of them you have already done at SSLC level, and it will be kind of repetition. So if you practice these formulae and remember them well, then you will be easily able to score the necessary marks. Let us start from the chapter matrices and determinants. You have to remember some rules on matrices. That is, addition, you add the corresponding elements. Subtraction, you always subtract the second matrix element from the first. Corresponding elements you have to subtract. Only take care, you put a bracket wherever a negative sign is there in an element. If you have to multiply the matrix with a constant, then every element of it will get multiplied by the same number. And if there are two matrices which are to be multiplied, then take elements of one row at a time, multiply to the elements of the columns in the other, and then you add them. Make sure all row elements are covered. If you are asked to find the value of the determinant, then you know how you will do it. Like, you will take one element and then multiply the diagonal elements. Always the first one is positive, second one is negative, third one is positive, like that. Then the same applies. There are some problems where unknown x is given and you are asked to solve the equation. You have to solve the determinant and then find the value. There could be an identity matrix which is defined by a matrix where diagonal elements are 1, 1, 1, and rest of the elements are 0. You have to apply the formula A into A inverse is equal to I. Next, let us look at rules in trigonometry. Okay, You must remember this value table in trigonometry. If you can remember all the values, well and good. If you do not remember these values, then as soon as you get the paper, either in the question paper or answer paper somewhere in the corner, you write this table. How? First write the angles 0, 30, 45, 60, 90. Then write sin theta, cos theta and tan theta. To start with, at least you must remember these values: 0, half, 1 over root 2, root 3 by 2 and 1. It is in increasing order. Okay? If you remember these, then the rest of them you can easily put the values. For cos, you can simply put the 0 here. Okay? Then the one that is here, diagonally opposite, you put it here. Then 1 over root 2 and 1 over root 2 for 45, both are equal, so you put one below the other. What remains is only 30 and 60. So this half, okay, you put here, diagonally opposite. And this root 3 by 2, you put it here. Okay, so cos table is filled now. For tan table, you divide sin by cos, that is 0 divided by 1 is equal to 0. Half divided by root 3 by 2. 2 will get cut, it will be 1 over root 3. 1 over root 2 by 1 over root 2 obviously equals 1. Then root 3 by 2 divided by half. 2 will get cut, only root 3 will remain. For the last one, 1 divided by 0, because it is division by 0, it is not determinable. So ND you write. That's all. Next, let us go to rule 2. This is the angular values of the trigonometric functions. Here you can remember one rule, what is called as all STC rule. Okay, you must remember all STC. So easy to remember, all STC rule. What does it stand for? It stands for the values, and it says all. For the first quadrant, all are positive. For the second quadrant, sin is positive. For the third quadrant, tan is positive. For the fourth quadrant, cos is positive. This much you must by heart. Quadrant, I hope you understand. That is 0 to 90 is the first quadrant. 90 to 180 is the second quadrant. 180 to 270 to 270 is third quadrant. And 270 to 360 is fourth quadrant. Okay. So while getting the values of, if there is an answer which is there in, say, let us say second quadrant, then sign cannot become negative. Sign has to be positive. So your answer you can always check. So if it is sin 180 minus theta, that is in this quadrant, then it will be sin theta, it will be plus only. Like that you can determine the values of these trigonometric functions. Now using that same all STC rule, you can see the detailed table is given here. Either you have to make it something plus theta or something minus theta, that is within one quadrant. Okay, supposing you get say 145, sin 145, you can do it as 90 plus 45, okay, or you can do 180 minus 45, both will be equal. The values will be of both will be equal. Okay, so supposing you take cos 45, Sin 90 plus theta, that is for 135, it will be cos 45, which is same as sin 180 minus 45, which is equal to sin 45. Okay, because they are the same values. Like that. If it is sin 180 plus theta, here it is coming as minus sin. Suppose it is 220 degrees. So you can put it as 180 plus 40 degrees. Okay. So this will become minus sin 40. Like that, if some values are there given, then you should be able to convert them into the least possible known values. Typically, from the table, the values are known to you, like 0, 45, 60, and 90, and 30. So those values, as far as possible, most of the exam paper will have questions only around those values. Like you may not get 220, you may get it as 225. That is, you can do it as 180 plus 45, or you may get 270 plus, let us say, 30. That is 300 you may get. Then you can do it as 270 plus 30. Like that, you should always convert it into a noun angle. 300 should be converted to 270 plus 30. Supposing you want to know sin 300 is how much, sin 300 is how much, then you go to this table. You know very well sin 300 is nothing but 270 plus 30, that is minus cos 30. So that becomes minus cos 30. So whatever the value is there, you have to put from the table. Next one, you must remember some of the Pythagorean identities which you have learned even at SSC level. Most popular one is sin squared theta plus cos squared theta is equal to 1. It can be theta, it can be x, it can be a, don't worry. All mean the same. Sin squared x plus cos squared x is equal to 1. 1 plus cos squared x is equal to, this is CS, stands for cosec squared x. Okay, and then 1 plus tan squared x or theta is equal to sec squared theta. All the questions will be around these identities. Many times they will give you sin squared plus cos squared is equal to 1, or how much is cos squared x is equal to, you can see from this, 1 minus sin squared x. You may get it as a 1 mark question. So easy is it to solve. Plus you must remember, obviously, this thing, that is tan x equal to sin x upon cos x, cot x equal to cos x upon sin x, and fundamental elements, sin x is equal to 1 upon reciprocal identity, cosec x. Cos x has got invert as sec x, tan x has got invert as 1 upon cot x. Cosec x, obviously from this it becomes inverted of sin x. Like that you must remember. So if you don't know that fundamental trigonometry, then you will not be able to score anything in trigonometry. Next we will move on to coordinate geometry. This is the simplest question that you can answer, and very easy. And if you even write the formula and try to solve it, you may get half the marks even if you go wrong. So let us look at basic formula. If they ask for a formula of a circle, then it will be x x minus h squared plus y minus k squared is equal to r squared. R is the radius. Sometimes they will give you the radius and then value of h and k. They will say find the value of the circle which is passing through, say let us say h 2 and 5 and r is equal to 3. So simply you have to put h is equal to 2 here, y is equal to, k is equal to 5 here, and then 3 is equal to 3 here. I have solved some problems in the end. You can look at that. Then one more formula is they will give some circle and then say that it is at the origin. That is, these values are 0, 0, h and k. So when you put 0, 0, obviously the equation will then become x squared plus y squared is equal to r squared. Straight away, they will say find the value of the circle here at the origin, which let us say radius is equal to 5. Then it will become x squared plus y squared is equal to 5 squared. That means equal to 25. This is the equation. There will be problems on straight lines. You must remember the basic fundamental equation of the straight line, y equal to mx plus c or b, whatever you call it. M is the slope. And then if two perpendicular lines, remember there could be problem on perpendicular lines, there could be problem on parallel lines. Okay, the slope will differ. If it is perpendicular, then the two lines have got one is positive, then other one will be minus of that. That is mm dash equals minus 1. If one is 5, then other will be minus 5 when they are perpendicular. Okay, and if they are parallel, then if one is 5, the other one also is equal to 5. Okay, m and m dash are equal when they are parallel. So this concept, if you remember, then simply you have to put the values and find the equation of the straight line. Next, let us move on to distance formula and coordinate geometry. They will give you the points like x2, x1, y2, y1, and then ask you to find the distance, which you have done at SSLC level. If the points are like 1, 2, and then 3, 4. Okay, then this is x1, this is x2, this is y1, this is y2. So you have to put those values and find the distance. Remember, if there are minus values here, then you must put another additional bracket here. Okay, while you solve the problems. Next, one more formula is when a straight line is divided in a particular ratio. Let us say this is m ratio and this line is divided in this ratio in the ratio of m is to n. Then supposing this is the same problem, we take 1, 2 and 3 and 4, then they may give m and ask to find n, or they may give these both and then the ratio and then ask you to find the unknown quantities many times. Okay, so this appears little complex, but while solving, if you remember this formula, then it is very easy to solve. Let us look at surds. Surds is the easiest chapter. Surds, in products of surds, straight away you multiply what is inside the square root sign. That is, if it is x, root of x into y, root is root xy. Division also same thing. If it is addition, then you can add like quantities only. Okay, now supposing it is 2 root 3, okay, plus 5 root 2 plus 4 root 3, okay, plus 2 root 2, then you can add root 3 quantity, that is 2 plus 4, 6 root 3, then root 2 quantity, that is 7 root 2. Okay. Next, vector algebra. I have solved many problems, at least 10 mark questions will be there. Normally they will give in various formats. You have to find, if it were finding the product, then it will be like they will give you A bar, A and B, two vectors, and then find the product of A bar and B bar. Then A bar and B bar is nothing but this coefficient of this multiplied by this. Then the next one, coefficient of this multiplied by this, like that you can arrive at A bar into B bar. Then magnitude, if they ask, it will be squares of this under square root of this. So in this case it becomes 45, and then for the B it becomes square root of this, that is 46. And many times there are some problems with, they will ask what is the cosine angle between these two vectors, that is angle between two vectors. There is a formula, theta is equal to cos inverse of A vector A into vector B divided by AB. And these values, whatever you have got here, if you put them, you will get the cosine angle. So you have to just say cos inverse of so much. Okay. So some problems do come with. So dear students, with this I have finished the list of important formulae. I only listed the important ones and which you can easily remember and practice. With every formula, unless you practice the corresponding problem, you will not get the hang of how the formula has to be applied. So make sure you practice what I give later for a particular paper. That is, I am next solving the Diploma 2019, May 2019 paper entirely. So you can take a look at it. Repeatedly you write the same thing in practice. Okay. So let us move on to the paper.
Dear students, now let us look at 2019 May paper. I already told you about the structure of the paper. Now in section A, there will be objective questions of 1 mark. So out of 20, I told you to pass, you must at least score 15 marks. Remember, the best method to solve objective here, questions here, is what is called as method of elimination. I will tell you what it is. Now suppose come to the first problem here. Order of the determinant is what? Okay. Now you can see that there are 2 rows and 2 columns. So obviously it has to be something around 2. Okay. It can't be 3, it can't be 4, it can't be -5. So whatever is not there, not at all possible, you eliminate them. That's why it is called as method of elimination. Sometimes you may be able to eliminate 2, you may be having doubt. So you can then choose between the two, the best answer which you feel. The possibility of passing will be 50% there. So here the answer is determinants are named after the size of the matrices. So here the size of the matrix is 2. So this is the answer. Next, let us go to the next problem. B, if you look at B, what is transpose of A is the question. Now transpose is defined as you put the rows as columns. Okay, so row is 0, 5, so you put it as column. When you put it as column, row becomes column like this. So 0, 5 becomes the first column. So you find out where 0, 5 is the first column. This is the answer. Okay, so 0, 5 and 1, 3. Second row becomes the second column. See, what is the value of x in this matrix? This is nothing but a simple solution of the matrix. So you multiply. Oh, sorry. He's asking for that to be a unit matrix. Now, for this to be a unit matrix, definition of unit matrix is when the diagonal elements are 1 and rest of the elements are 0. Okay. Now, he is asked for value of x in order for this to become unit matrix. That means here, if you equate these two, 5x becomes equal to 1. So, you have x equals 1 divided by 5. This is the answer. That is 1 divided by 5 is the answer. D. What is the order of the matrix A? Obviously here always look at the rows first. Okay, rows first, row first. Okay, so how many rows are there? Only there are 2 rows here. This is first row, this is second row. So always put the number of rows here, that is 2 here, and then it is 2 by 1 matrix, that is column is 1. So remember, this is a matrix. Earlier it was determinant, so we wrote it as 2. Here it is matrix, so it is 2 by 1. Okay. Now when you follow method of elimination, obviously it can't be 2 by 3. This is not there. Obviously it can't be 3 by 3. There may be confusion whether it is this or this. Okay. But as I told you, always have the row first. So there are 2 rows. So you have this answer. Next, surds. What is the sum of this one? Very easy. Remember one thing in surds, you can only add or subtract the ones which are like elements. That is, under root, the same element should be there. Here under root 3 is there, under root 3 is there. Okay. So that gets cancelled here, and pure number is there, 3 plus 3, answer becomes 6. So 6 is the answer. This is the answer. F. What is the value of 1 to the power of 3? Okay. Anything of 1 raised to the power of n or 5 or 10 or anything is always equal to 1. It is never equal to 0. It is always equal to 1. So this is the answer. Very, very simple to solve. Next, G. What is the value of root 1 plus root 1? They may ask, I told you like components get added directly. So this is also root 1, this is also root 1. It is like what is 2 plus 2? What is 3 plus 3? So it is root 1 plus root 1 is 2 times root 1. That is 2 times root 1. Okay. It can't be minus 1. It can't be 1. It can't be root 6. Definitely it is 2 times root 1. This way you should follow the method of elimination. let us look at H. What is the modulus of a vector A? Always modulus of vector component, if you ask, it is represented with two lines like this. It is nothing but always the square root of the coefficient of I, j, k. So coefficient of I is 2, j is -3, k is 1. So 2 squared plus -3 whole square plus 1 square, it becomes total 14. Unfortunately, the answer was wrong given in the question paper. It should be 14. The choice should be 14. So this is the correct answer. Next, the position vector of A105 is nothing but what? Here you can do a little bit of guesswork. The same concept applies here. Here it was coefficient of this. Here the numbers are given. So obviously, if you consider this as I, j and k, then it is 1i 0j 5k, right? 1i 0j and 5k. So answer is this one. Obviously it can't be 2i, it can't be 0i. There is 1i here, but the j component is not 0. The k component is not 5. So this cannot be the answer. Let us move on to next, that is J. Problem number J. What is the value of pi by 4 in degrees? Always remember pi radians is equal to 180 degrees. Some questions will be, they will give pi and ask you to find degrees. Some places they will give degrees and ask you to find the value of pi. Here pi is given, answer they have asked in terms of degrees. So instead of pi, you straight away replace by 180. So here it will become 180 divided by 4. So if you cut it, it will be 45 degrees. This is the answer. Next, K. What is the orthogonal vector? That is product of A bar and B bar is supposed to be orthogonal when the product is 0. This if you can remember, is like a formula. When the vector product is 0, it is called as orthogonal. If you remember that much is enough. It is not 1, remember, it is always 0. Next, L, this reverse of the J here. I told you pi radians equal to 180. Here the opposite is given, number of degrees is given, they have asked you to find out pi. So obviously you have to divide by 180 here, because for every 180 it will be pi. So 450 divided by 180. Okay, because you have to find out how many pi's are there. Okay, so you cut this, then 9 5s are 9 2s are, and you have to always multiply it by pi, so many pi. So it will be 5 by 2. If you do everything logically and go as per the formula that I had given earlier, it is very easy to score and get almost full marks in these 1 mark questions. M, value of cos squared 20 plus sin squared 20. I have told any cos squared and sin squared theta is 1, always 1, whether it is 20 degrees, 30 degrees, 40 degrees, whatever. So this is always 1. Remember, this is the answer. Tan theta is positive and sin theta is negative. Then it is which quadrant? All STC rule, we have told. First quadrant all, second quadrant sin, third it is tan, right? third it is tan, and sine is obviously negative there. So quadrant is third. Unless you practice these sums and go through my video 3 or 4 times, you will not be able to get good marks. What is the value of tan? Next, what is the value of tan square 225? This can be done in different ways. 225 degrees you have to convert to 180 plus something, that is 180 plus 45, right, is 225. Now tan of 180 plus 45, 180 plus 45 tan is coming in the third quadrant, right? So tan is positive, just earlier we have seen it, so is equal to tan 45, okay, which is equal to 1. Okay, so tan squared 45 will become 1 squared, which is nothing but 1. So this is the answer. Then if sin theta is 3 by 5, what is cos theta? This is coming to the fundamental Pythagorean triangle, okay, theta, and the basic size of the Pythagoras triangle, which is 3, 4, 5, that is 3, 4 and 5, because 3 squared plus 4 squared, that is 9 plus 16 is equal to 5 squared, that is 25. This is the basic Pythagoras triangle. Okay, so sin theta is 3, that is opposite side by hypotenuse. So cos theta is nothing but adjacent side by hypotenuse, that is 4 by 5. 4 by 5. If you draw this picture, you will be able to easily see what is the value of cos theta. Then what is the slope of the line which is inclined at 135 to x-axis? Okay, now slope is always given by, of a straight line is given by tan theta, right, or it is also represented as m, right? Now 135 can be written as 90 plus 45, right? So it is in the second quadrant, right? So all and sine is only positive, tan is negative there, right? So it will be minus tan 45, right? But tan 45 is equal to 1, so answer will be minus 1. Okay, so, or the slope is minus 1. What is the, let us come to the problem R. Y-intercept of 2x plus 3y plus 1 is equal to 0. You can put it as standard equation, y is equal to mx plus 3. Standard equation of straight line is y is equal to mx plus c, right? So put it in that format here. 3y will be is equal to, take the other components to the right, that is minus 2x minus 1, or y is equal to 3, you divide everywhere, that is equal to minus 2 by 3x minus 1 by 3. So this is the intercept, okay, minus 1 by 3, so answer is minus 1 by 3. Okay, it is a y, it is called as y-intercept. Then same way, what is the slope of the line x minus y plus 10 is equal to 0? Again you bring it to the format of y equal to mx plus c. Okay, if you keep it like that, or maybe shift y, or maybe written as it is minus y is equal to minus x minus 10, right? Minus y is equal to, take the other components to the right, minus x minus 10, or y is equal to, take out minus everywhere, then it will be x plus 10, right? So if you see y equal to mx plus c here, compare, then m will be is equal to 1 here, right? So this is the answer. Always bring it to, even if you write that 1 y equal to mx plus c, one answer there, they will give you half marks even if you go wrong. Then t, radius of a circle x squared plus y squared equal to 25. I have already told in the beginning of the formulae, x squared plus y squared equal to r squared is the formula of, the value of the circle which is at 0, 0, that is origin, and this represents the r squared. So r squared is equal to 25, that is the radius square equal to 25, therefore r is equal to 5, right? So this is the answer. Dear students, let's get started with section B now. There will be 15 questions and you have to answer any 10 questions of 2 marks each. It's very easy section, and if you are good in 1 mark questions, then you can as well score good in 2 mark questions also. So let us get started. First question is find a plus a dash. Okay, so a dash, how do you find? A is already there given here, matrix 3 5 1 2. Okay, a dash can be found by reversing the row and changing it into column, that is row becomes column here, 3 5 becomes 3 5 here, and then 1 2 becomes 1 2, 1 2 row becomes 1 2 column. Okay, now it is simple addition, that is 3 plus 3 is equal to 6, 5 plus 1 is equal to 6, 1 plus 5 is equal to 6, 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. You have to add the corresponding elements and that will be the answer. If it were minus, then you have to subtract from this value. Okay, let us move on to the second one. Here he has asked to give you, find out the value of x. Sometimes this is made equal to a unit matrix and then you are asked to find the value. Here there is nothing like that. You simply asked to find the value of x. That means you solve this matrix, that is 5 into 2 is 10x. Okay, 10x, and then minus 20, 10x, and then minus 20 is equal to 0. So minus 20 you take it to this side. Okay, this is 10x minus 20, it will be 10x minus 20 is equal to 0. Okay, therefore 10x equal to 20, therefore x equal to 2. This is how you find the value of x. Let us move on to third problem. Here you are asked to find the inverse of this matrix. So whenever the inverse is coming, make sure first you find the value of this matrix, that is 3 into 1 3. Okay, minus, remember minus, then because there is a minus here you must put a bracket here, and then minus 3 into 5. Okay, So minus and minus becomes plus. So it becomes, denominator becomes 3 into 1 is 3 here, and minus minus plus 15, and this remains. In this, what will be the change here? These elements are interchanged. 1 goes here and 3 comes here. So 1 is here, okay, 3 has come down here, and these two elements, the sign is changed. Minus 3 becomes plus, and plus 5 becomes minus. Okay, then you solve this, you get 1 upon 18 outside, and then if you solve, you don't have to solve, you can as well leave the value as it is. So just do it divided by 18 each element. So this becomes 1 by 18, minus 5 by 18, 3 by 18, and 3 by 18. You can as well cut it also and make it 1 by 6, 1 by 6, 1 by 6 also you can keep. Okay, so this is the answer. Let us next go to 4. Here if A is this and B value is this, what is the value of A minus B? Earlier we did A plus B, here it is A minus B, as I told you. You subtract this from this, that is 1 minus 3. Be very very careful, make sure we put minus sign. If there is minus, then you put a bracket. Okay, 1 minus 3 is over here. One minus 3 is here. Then 2 minus minus 1. Be very careful about this minus sign, so you put the bracket. Then this is 3 minus 2 here. This is 5 minus 4 here. Okay, so when you simplify, this becomes minus 2, minus minus becomes plus, so plus 3, 3 minus 2 becomes 1, 5 minus 4 becomes 1. This is the answer. You can so easily get 2 marks in all this. You should not make any mistake. Fifth, find the value of, this is a Searle's problem, root 8 into root 5 into root 1. Very very simple. As I had told in the earlier formulae, if there is a multiplication in Searle's, then under root you can straight away multiply whatever is there in under root. So it becomes 8 into 5 into 1. So it is 40. 8 5s are 40. 8 into 5 into 1. This is the answer. Next, inserts the simplification problem. Here it is plus and minus. It is 2 plus root 5 minus into bracket it is put. So 2 plus 3 root 5 minus 3 minus 3 root 5. So when you open the bracket, it will be 2 minus 3 here. Okay, numbers subtracted. Then plus 3 root 5 and minus into minus, that becomes plus. This becomes plus. So this will be 2 times 3 root 5. So it becomes 2 into 3 root 5, that becomes 6 root 5. So this is the answer. So they want you to, they will be checking your capability to multiply by a constant as well as do the minus calculation. Seventh, what is the transpose of A? Row becomes the column, right? So 0 1 becomes 0 1 here, and then 2 3 becomes 2 3. Very simple. Then eighth problem, find the unit vector of vector 1 I 2j minus 3k. What is the definition of unit vector? Okay, it is a, that is scalar A divided by modulus of A. So it should be 1i plus 2j minus 3k divided by modulus of A is always squares of this ijk coefficient, that is 1 squared plus 2 squared plus 3 squared. So it is 1 plus 4, 5 plus 9, 14. So 1 upon root 14, 1i plus 2j minus 3k. Remember, if the unit vector question is asked, you must remember this formula. Let us look at ninth problem. It's a scalar. He is asked to find out modulus of vector A and plus vector B added. So addition of vectors is simple addition along with the coefficients. So it is 3i plus I, that is 4i, minus 4j plus j is minus 4j plus j. Let me see, is there a mistake? Minus 4j plus j is minus 3j, okay. Then there is 5k here and 2k here, so there is 3k, and absolute value of this is always modulus is calculated by squaring the coefficients and adding. So here, even if you go wrong in sign, there is no problem because it is squared, so it will take care of it. So 4 squared plus minus 3 squared plus 3 squared, that is 16 plus 9 plus 9, that is equal to 34. This is the answer. Next, I think we will get into two identities in trigonometry to be proved. Okay, when they ask you to prove that it will be sin squared theta plus cos squared theta is equal to 1, or they may give sin squared theta is equal to 1 minus cos squared theta, or whatever form. Okay, now here you have to do it from first principles using the right angle triangle ABC. Okay, that is, let us draw the right angle triangle. It is not drawn here. So this is the right angle triangle. Okay, AC is the diagonal, so it is A, C and B. Okay, so here it is AB squared is equal to AB squared plus BC squared is equal to AB squared plus BC squared is equal to AC squared. Okay, by virtue of being right angle triangle, Pythagoras theorem, right? Now dividing each term by AC squared, we get AB squared upon AC squared plus BC squared upon AC squared is equal to AC squared upon AC squared. Okay, now AB by BC, this you must remember, AB by BC is nothing but cos theta, adjacent side by hypotenuse, whereas BC by AC is sin squared theta is equal to 1. AB by if this is theta, here this will be the theta. Okay, AB by AC is cos theta and BC by AC is sin theta. Okay, So this AC squared upon AC squared becomes 1. So it is equal to 1. This is what is to be proved. Very, very simple to remember, and these two identities will always come. If not two, at least one will come. So you draw this figure itself and you put the Pythagoras theorem, you will get 1 mark for that. Using the same picture, we can now do the other proof. Let us prove that sec squared theta minus tan squared theta is equal to 1, or they may put tan squared theta is equal to 1 per sec squared theta, whatever. Okay. Now again we come to same triangle, AB squared is equal to plus BC squared is BC squared. This is the standard thing we will put, and then you divide AB squared. Here earlier you divide by AC squared, now you divide by AB squared. So AB squared upon AC by AB squared plus BC squared upon AB squared is equal to AC squared upon AB squared. So this becomes 1 AB upon AB. Okay. BC upon AB is tan theta. That is BC, this is opposite side by adjacent side is nothing but tan theta. Okay, is equal to AC upon, that is hypotenuse divided by adjacent side is nothing but sec squared theta. Okay, so this is the proof. So these two proofs you must remember and you can easily score 4 marks with this. Find the numerical value of tan squared 30 plus cot square 60. Here you now go back to the table I told you to put or remember, value table. Tan 30 is 1 over root 3. Cot 60 is nothing but tan 30 actually. Okay, so either you remember cot 60 or convert it into tan 30. So this also becomes, this is cot square 60 is nothing but tan square 30, so that also is 1 over root 3. So 1 over root 3 whole square plus 1 over root 3 whole square, that is 1 by 3 plus 1 by 3 is equal to 2 by 3. This is the answer. Then 13, find the value of tan 2A if A is equal to 15. So simply put the value of A here, then this becomes tan 30 degrees. Tan 30 is nothing but 1 over root 3. So it means here that you must remember the values of sine, cos and tan for 30 degree, 45 degrees, 60 degree, 90 degree and 0 degrees. If you remember that, or if you put the table as soon as you get the paper, then you will be able to easily score up to 10-15 marks in trigonometry. This is the distance formula, distance between 2 points. Okay, find the distance between points 2, 4 and 3, 6. A very, very straightforward one which you did even in at SSLC level. So you can simply name it as x1, y1, x2, y2. Okay, the distance formula is, actually it is x2 minus x1. You write it x1 minus x2. This one, it means the value doesn't change. So x2 minus x1 square plus y2 minus y1 square. So you put x2 as 3 minus 1 square. If it is minus, be very careful, you have to put minus of minus. So it is 3 minus 1 square plus 6 minus 4 square. So it is 2 squared is 4. Again 6 minus 4 is 2 squared is 4. So root of 8, which is nothing but 2 root 8. This is the distance between the 2 points. Fifteenth and the last problem. This I told in the beginning when I did the formula. Find the equation of a circle whose radius is 3 units and center is at origin. Formula is nothing but x squared plus y squared is equal to r squared or a squared when hk is equal to 0, that is, it is origin is 0 0, center is at 0 0. Okay, so then h and k value becomes 0 0, so the formula becomes x squared plus y squared is equal to a squared. Here a or radius is nothing but 3 units, so you put 3 squared, so x squared plus y squared equal to 3 squared, that is 9. This is the equation of the circle. So you can see that these all the 15 questions are from the given formulae I told you in the beginning, and if you remember the formulae and just practice these sums, even 1 mark sums and this, then easily it will take you up to about 30-35 marks. Okay, but you must remember the formula and practice them and apply them, then only you will get the practice. Okay, so we will next go to section C. I once again suggest that you practice 1 or 2 because section C is little lengthy questions and you may not get the problems, very easy problems to solve. So you better concentrate on section 1 and 2 just by remembering and practicing with the formula. Okay, so let us go to section C now. Now let us proceed to section C. Here you have to solve 12 questions of 5 marks each. Some of them are difficult and lengthy, so even if you are able to solve 3 or 4 out of them correctly, you may get about 20 marks. But if you are not able to, then at least reproduce the problem as it is. Write down the problem first. If you remember any formula related to that, write the formula. Otherwise, do some calculation which is mentioned there. At least out of 5 you may get about 2 to 3 marks. So that way you can score at least about 10 marks in section C. But don't leave the whole thing or whole problems as it is and give a blank paper for section C. You must attempt the problems. So let us get started. The first one, here it is given as find the value of these 3 equations in x, y, z using the determinant method. Okay, so how you do? You have to solve. They are given solve for x. Okay, so the formula is the value of x equal to d dash upon d. D is the value you will get by putting the determinant of this from the equation. I will tell you how. And d dash is, you just replace the x, the first row is for x, second for y, third for z. Then for the x column, you put this value 0, 1 and 3. Okay, then you get the value of d dash. And do d dash by d, you will get the value of x. So how do you put the determinant? Just associated coefficients of x, y, z you put. Here it is 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1. Next 3, 2, minus 1, 3, 2, minus 1. Third 2 minus 3. And this 3 is brought to left side, so it will become, it is actually 0 because z term itself is not there. Z term itself is not there, so it will become 0. Okay, here this is 0. Next, how do you find d dash? I told you, if x is asked in the first column, you have to replace by the values of this equation, that is 0, 1 and 3. So you put 0, 1, 3, replace this column by 0, 1, 3. That's what we have done here. Next, keep these 2 columns as it is here, same. Okay, then again solve the determinant. Solving the determinant, how you do? any of this, take the first row, leave out the first row and take supposing element 1, then it is, you leave these elements and take this, that is 0 into 2, 0 here, and minus 1 into minus 1 is plus, minus 1 into minus 3 is plus 3, so it is minus of 0 minus 3. 0 minus plus 3 will become 0 minus 3. Then alternately it becomes minus plus, that you must remember. So next it will be minus. You take this column, okay, then value to be considered is 2. So this row and this column will leave. What is left is these 4 elements here. So 0 into 3 is 0. 2 into minus 1 is minus 2. So minus 2 becomes plus 2. Okay. And next one is 1 into 1 is not to be put, no, it doesn't matter at all. Then this one and this one will leave. 3 3s are 9. Sorry, 3 into minus 3 is 9, minus 9, and 2 into 2 is plus 4. So it is minus 9 and then minus of plus 4 becomes minus 4. So if you solve this, so this is the value you get for D, minus 15 is the value you get for D dash. So it will be here, sorry, it is minus 20 here, it should be minus 20, minus 20 here, okay. So this will be minus 15 upon minus 20, so it becomes 5 3s are 5 4s are. Next we go to the next problem here. We'll go a little fast. Now, by now you know the way things are working. Second one is very simple. Matrix problem. A is equal to this matrix. Find 2 times A plus A dash. 2 times A is, you know how to do. Okay. A dash is, A is there here, row becomes column, that is this 4 by 5 becomes 4 by 5 here, then minus 1 to as it is, you put it here as column, and then 2 times this, 2 4s are 8, 2 5s are 10, like that. Okay, so add both of them, you will get this value. Next, it appears a little lengthy problem here. The next one is finding the adjoint. There will be definitely one question on adjoint, how to find. When you are asked to find adjoint, what you have to do? Simply you have to determine using this matrix C11, C12, then C13, okay, then C11, 1, 2, 1, 3, then C21, 2, 2, 2, 3, and then C31, 3, 2, 3, 3. These totally 9 quantities have to be determined because it's a 3 by 3 matrix. Okay. So what is C1, C11? That is first row and first column you leave off. Balance elements you put here 4, 5, 4, 3 and solve for that. Then what is C12? That is first row, second column. So these two you leave off. What remains here? Minus 3, 5, minus 1, 3. Solve that one. Like that, I'll take one more. Suppose C31 is nothing but third row, first column. That is third row and first column will leave. That means you get 2, 3, 4, 5 element. 2, 3, 4, 5 element. So if you solve for that, you will get minus 2. Like that, you have to determine the value of all these elements. Once you have determined, simply put, and what is adjoint of A? You have to, for adjoint, you have to put it on the top a dash, like this, and here simply reproduce these values here, that is C11 value you put here, okay, C12 value you put here next in the row, C13 value you put in this row. Like that you reproduce these values sequentially properly, and then the dash, because you have been asked dash, that is the row becomes the column, okay. So minus 8 minus 4 minus 8, because minus 8 minus 4 minus 8 is 2, then this becomes this and this becomes this, that is the adjoint. If you understand how to calculate the C11, 1, 2, 1, 3, etc., even if you don't do properly also, still you will get about 3 marks. Next one is a very simple problem, solving for value of x, that is x, this term keep as it is 5x, first row first column, then other thing is 2 into 0, 0, 4 into 3 minus 12, you solve for the value of this entire determinant and get the value of x as minus 1 by 10. Very easy. Fifth, here you have been asked to find the value of a into b dash, okay, a into b dash. So obviously you have to find ab, so you keep these values as it is and you have to multiply, okay. For when you multiply, you have to follow a particular technique when you multiply two matrices, that is a into b you first find out. Each element of this you have to take and multiply with the corresponding the first row first column, this is 2, you multiply to corresponding 0, okay, that is 0. Then 5 you multiply to 5, okay. Each row you are multiplying row elements to column elements and putting it in the same place here first. Then next you take this and this column, that is 2 4s are 8, 5 2s are 10, like that you create the new matrix. And then what is this is the a into b product value, okay. And if you want to find out dash of this, then the row becomes the column, that is 25 18 and 15 2, the other row becomes other column. This is the answer. Wherever dash is given, you remember row becomes column. There will be definitely one problem on Cayley-Hamilton theorem, okay, and they will say prove Cayley-Hamilton theorem for this value a is equal to 2 3 4 5 matrix. First, for this what you have to do is find the value of, using the equation for what is called as lambda, okay. That lambda value you have to find out. In fact, this is the part A, first part. Okay, you remember this formula A minus lambda I. This is nothing but the given matrix, then minus lambda I is the unit matrix, that is 1 diagonal and then rest element 0. Okay, and when you A minus 2i, when you make A minus lambda I becomes, you simplify this becomes 2, then minus lambda, then this is 3 minus 0, that is 3. Like that, if you put all these elements, then modulus of A minus lambda I is 2. You simplify this one, okay, that is this into this minus this into this. So when you simplify, you get a equation, quadratic equation in lambda, that is lambda squared minus 7 lambda minus 2. So this is the equation which you have to use for proving that one. So this we are taking to the top now. Of course, the part A we should have come at the top, doesn't matter. So this equation you take here, to the top. We got the equation in part A. A squared minus 7 lambda. Now you substitute, this is the part B. This is the second part actually, okay. So you take the equation what we got down there, so A squared minus 7 lambda minus 2. Substitute lambda by A, then you get an equation in A squared minus 7A minus 2. Okay, so this should, you equate it to 0 to prove that, whatever Cayley Hamilton. So once you do that, A squared, that is whatever matrix they are given, that 2 times A into A minus 7 times same matrix and minus 2 times I is unit matrix, that is 1 1 0 0. If you solve this one, okay, you have to simplify this now, like you figure it out how to simplify. A squared, that is this into this you have to do. The method I already told you, 2 into 2 4 earlier, 3 into 4 is 12, like that you have to find out all those. So you finally end up in values of these values. Okay, you try all this for yourselves once, otherwise you will not get the confidence. To prove Cayley Hamilton that this is the values of these matrices is equal to 0, another matrix which is 0 0. If we prove that, then okay, it will be that to Cayley Hamilton theorem holds good. So you can see that here this matrix minus this, so it is each element if you subtract 16 minus 14 is 2, 2 minus 2 is 0, 21 minus 21 is 0, minus 0 is 0, 28 minus 28 is 0, minus 0 is 0, 37 minus 35 is 2, 2 minus 2 is 0. So you get a resultant matrix of 0 0. So if you prove that this is 0 0 0 0 matrix, then it means that Cayley Hamilton theorem holds good. So please attempt this problem without fail. You are going to easily score 5 marks. The steps are, first you arrive at this equation, okay, lambda squared minus 7 lambda minus 2 in this particular case, and then you have to put those values and prove that, simply put it equal to 0 0, that's all. You will get 5 marks. Next we'll move to the next seventh question. It is inserts very easy problem answers. Rationalize 3 minus 2 upon 3 divided 2 minus root 2 and simplify. Whenever you want to rationalize, you always multiply and divide by the conjugate of this, that is, if it is minus, you have to multiply by plus. So same quantity minus, it multiply by plus, okay, this divided by this. So it becomes this numerator 3 into 2 plus root 2 divided by, this is a plus b into a minus b formula, a square minus b square, that is 2 into 2 square 4 minus root 2 into root 2 becomes root 4. Root 2 into root 2 is root 4. Root 4 is nothing but 2. So it is 4 minus 2 it becomes. So when you open this bracket, it is 3 into 2 by 2 plus 3 root 2 by 2. So this to get cut, this is the answer. Let us move on to the eighth problem. This is also very simple, where the scalar product is asked of two quantities, a bar and b bar. So a bar value is scalar A is, not scalar, vector A is shown by 4i plus 3j plus 2k and vector B is shown by 3i plus j plus k. So the product of these vectors has been asked. So it is nothing but the product of the coefficients, okay, corresponding components what are called as. So it is 4 into 3, 12, 3 into 1, 3, 2 into 1, 2. It is equal to 17. That is the a bar in A vector A into vector B value. Next we will go to the ninth problem. We will go a little fast because next ones are very simple. I'm trying to get it in one page, but doesn't matter. If it is not, then I will repeat the whole thing. Okay. Now here we find the cosine of the angle between these two vectors it is given. Okay. So the formula is this one, that is cosine of the angle is equal to product of the vectors divided by modulus of the vector values. Okay. So if you, this is already done, it is product of the vectors in nothing but the product of the associated components, that is 3 into 2 minus 4 into 3, like that, it becomes 14, and modulus of A is given by square of this, right? So this becomes root 50. So the modulus of B becomes root of 29. So you put this value for cos theta, okay, because they have asked for cosine of the angle, right? So cosine of the angle is equal to what we have written there, that is vector A into vector B, the product value divided by modulus of these two, that is 50 divided by 2 into 29. So you simplify, you will get this 14 by 5 root 58. So this is nothing but cos theta value, cos theta. So if you want theta, then it will be inverse of that. You must practice this couple of times, then you will easily be able to understand the concept. It is very, very simple to solve. Let us come to the 10th. Point area and the parallel on both sides are this. Okay. So here nothing but they have asked you to find the area. So it is product of these two sides. Okay. Vector A into vector B. So first one you put it in I, J, K terms as it is. Then 1 minus 2 minus 3. Okay. Then 3 minus 1 and 1. When you solve this vector, okay, you will get the resultant term is this. That is how you find determinant if you solve. Let's put IU first and then product of these two. Like that, if you solve, you will get a minus 5 minus 10k plus 7k. That is equal to vector product of these two. Okay. So that is nothing but square root of square of this plus square of this plus square of this. Okay. That is the root of 174. Square root of 174 square units. Next, we have finished this just now, right? Here is the parallelogram. Next we go to 11th, that is small problem from geometry. When the angle subtended in center was arc length is 10 cm. That is, arc is always given by, it is proportional to the angle subtended. So if theta is the angle, then it is theta divided by 360. So they asked you to find the angle, right? So what is the length of the arc? Length of the arc is nothing but 10, already given. Okay, then radius, it is 2 pi radius of the value here, and keep multiply by theta is written, say the angle, then 360 divided theta by 360. If you put that value, then theta value that is 286.36. Very simple. Next, trigonometry function, how to prove that. Whenever you get equation to prove like this, and you get either 1 plus sin theta, 1 minus sin theta, or 1 plus cos theta, 1 minus cos theta, straight away you multiply, because sin square theta minus cos square theta equal to 1. So when you cross multiply this, okay, then you get 1 plus 1 minus cos theta into 1 minus cos theta plus 1 plus cos theta, and then product of these two will be LCM, and this is A plus B minus B, that is 1 minus cos square theta. This into this multiplied, and here this and this gets cancelled, so it will be 2. So 2 upon sin square theta is nothing but 2 cosec squared theta. Very easy to solve. Let us look at the 13th. Find the value of tan square theta. Here it is nothing but the trigonometric table which I had asked you to put in the beginning. If you know these values by heart, it's okay. Otherwise, if you don't, then you better refer to trigonometric table that you have drawn. Tan theta is nothing but 1 over root 3, so 1 over root 3 whole square. cot 60 is nothing but tan 30, right? Or you can put the value of cot 60 itself as 1 over root 3, okay, square, because cot theta is 1 upon tan square, so it is 1 upon tan square 30 you can put, sorry, 1 upon tan square 30, and minus tan 45 is equal to 1, cot 45 is equal to 1. Remember tan 30 is equal to cot 60, so I have put the value here 1 over root 3, so it becomes 1 over 3 plus 1 over 3, and then minus 1 minus 1, that is 2 upon 3 minus 2, so this is the value. So if you simplify this, then what you will get is 2 by 3 minus 2, so it is, if you take it on the top, it is 2 minus 6 upon 3, so it becomes minus 4 by 3. This value becomes minus 4 by 3. This is the answer. Next, 14th. This is a very lengthy problem. You might have some issue doing this. This is about the ratio problem in coordinate geometry, and you must find the point of trisection found by joining point 2, 2, 3, 3, 5. Trisection is, there are 2 points you have to find out, that's P and Q, which will be divided into 3 by joining 3 parts, okay, and then they have said that each of them AP is equal to QB, equal, they are equal, okay, when it is trisection. So if first you take x1, y1, x2, y2, okay, and use this formula to replace the value of m1, m2 in both the places, and then replace the value of x1, y1, x2, y2, okay. Now remember, first you have to find the value of the ratio of m1 to m2. If you see here, AP is equal to QB, okay. Now m1 is to m2, because these are in the proportion of 1 is to 2, right? So AP is 2 times AP. So you have to put those values of m1 and m2, and you will finally get, so for the, first you have to find out for the value of P between points A and B, okay, where it will be ratio of 1 is to 2. Then you find the value of Q, here it will be the other way around, it is 2 is to 1 ratio. So then you will get the value of P and Q separately. So that's what is asked here. You asked for value of P slightly lengthy problem. But if I understand, you can solve it. That is 14th problem. 15th is also a little lengthy, but this is what you have done already at SSLC level. Find the area of a triangle formed by this. You have to put a matrix of this type. Sorry, you have to put an equation like this. This is the area of the triangle for this problem from coordinate geometry. These are the 3 vertices of the triangle. So if you call this x1, y1, x2, y2 and x3, y3, okay, then 0, 1, 4, 0 and 1, 5. Okay, the area formula is given by this is half into, first you put x1, x2, x3. Okay, then into bracket what should be put? Start with 2 first, then put y2 and y3. Then after y2 you go to y3, so it becomes y3. After y3 you come back, it will be y1. Then in this particular case, after y3 becomes y1, after y1 becomes y2. So this is the order, cyclic order in which you have to put the equation. If you can't remember it often, once you put this equation, then replace those values. Like x1 value, you have to write like this first, so that you can pick up the value here. Like x1 is here, x1 is 0 here, so you have to pick up 0. y2 here, so y2 is here, so that also is 0. Okay, y3 is here, so it will be -5. Like that you put the values and find out the area, which is nothing but 17 by 2 square units. Very easy to solve. Now find the equation for the straight line having slope 3 and x-intercept is 2. So it will be a straight line in the x-axis, y-axis. So it is bound to be in the first quadrant. So x-intercept is 2 here. Okay, so where x-intercept is 2, y is bound to be 0 because this is x-axis. All y's are 0 on this. Okay, and then it has got slope value as 3. So remember the point is passing through 2 and 0, right? That is one point. Then we put our standard equation, y minus y1 is equal to you into bracket x minus x1 and into bracket x minus x1 will be. So here y1 value is 0, then slope m is equal to 3 into bracket x minus x1 value is 2, right? So if you put the value and solve for that, you will get the equation 3x minus y minus x is equal to 0. This is the equation. So you have to first check whether it is y-intercept or x-intercept properly. Okay. So if it is x-intercept, then y becomes 0. If it is y-intercept, then x will be 0. So you have to remember that. Next one is similar thing. One equation straight line passing through these points and parallel to this one. Remember, there is a formula for parallel lines. It will be m into if there are parallel lines, then let us find out the equation of any line parallel to the line is given by, supposing this is the equation, okay, and they are asked you to find out the value which is parallel. Okay, so it is given by 2x minus 4y plus lambda is equal to 0. This both these are parallel. Okay, and this passes through 1 and 5, isn't it? So here you put the value of x and y, 1 and 5. So you get the value of lambda as 18. That is what is the purpose. Okay, so put that value of lambda. Okay, so now we'll get an equation 2x minus 4y plus 18 is equal to 0. There is one more method. This is the simple method. Putting the lambda about the value of lambda. We put that value. So 2x minus 4y plus 18 is equal to 0. Remember the slopes of this are same, both of them. Okay. So if they are asked to find out the slope, then you have to put it in the format y equal to mx plus c. Okay, and then it is minus 4y is equal to this, bring this side, is minus 2x minus 5, or y is equal to minus 2 by minus 4. Okay, minus 5 divided by minus 4. Okay, so this is the value of the slope, that is 4 will get cut 2 by 2 and 2 2s are, it is half. That is the value of the slope. And you can simply put that value and then write the equation. Problem number 18. One equation of circle having center 3, 5 and radius 2 centimeters. Problem of equation of circle are the simplest ones. You better remember and solve it. You know this formula as the right answer repeated. X minus h squared plus y minus k squared equal to a squared. Here you have to find whether h is 0, 0 or h is something else. H is not at 0, it is at 3, 5. So simply put the value of h and k here. So this becomes the equation. Instead of radius, you put 2 centimeters, there is the radius. So you square this. Okay, you get this equation. And then okay. So when you simplify, you will get the step of an equation.